Hey, everybody, welcome back. Hi, not too old, not too young. That's me, Renee Manning. I am happy to be here today. My co host, Melissa, is going to be joining us again soon, and she gave me this amazing idea to kind of talk about a bridge between the actual thing I need to do, which is spring cleaning, and this amazing sort of metaphor for how during midlife can we keep things fresh, right? So that's where we're coming from today, is this idea that we can curate our closets, and maybe we can use that whole concept, that metaphor, to also apply to some of our habits and some of our actions that maybe in the spirit of like spring cleaning and closet curation are no longer serving us. So here's where I thought I would start. Like this idea, like I said, that we know how to curate our closet. And when we talk about that, we're not talking about adding just random stuff or um, keeping things just to keep them, right? What we want to do is we want to honestly look at the things in our closet, edit them honestly with kind of a critical eye, and we want to not just hang on to things for the sake of hanging on. Um, but we got to know when to fold them, friends, know when to walk away, know when to run. And so that's kind of the approach here, is that clothes are a very obvious manifestation of ourselves, right? They're our outward appearance. They're what everyone sees. And so with our clothes, we have this opportunity to I was going to say convert, maybe convert some people over to our side, but we give them the opportunity to experience us before we even speak. And, so anyway, so that's this idea that clothes are important. And so we don't want to hang on to them if they represent an older version of ourself, a version of ourself that is no longer current and maybe doesn't serve us. So this idea of curation really lands for me also because it seems a little more sophisticated than simply cleaning, which is not my favorite. um, like spring curation to me sounds a little bit more exciting than spring cleaning. And this is something that I've really been doing in my life anyway, as I've mentioned. Like last year, I sort of started this shedding process, this curation process with my work of looking at what I was doing and where I was spending my time and noticing, starting with awareness, what no longer was serving me. And I feel like in midlife, we get this opportunity and this challenge to check in with ourselves and to flex that awareness muscle, which might be a little stale if we've been in a routine for the last, decade. So we're flexing a new muscle. And what a great way to flex it through the practical application of actually starting by cleaning our actual closet. Are you with me? Are you with me here? But like seriously, think about it. Cleaning our actual closet, no metaphor, no euphemism, is probably something that needs to be done. And at the same time, it can kind of get us thinking bigger picture about how we can be evolving and transforming and curating our lives as well. So I'll just give you a quick story. I did clean some stuff out of my closet a couple weeks ago because it had gotten so bad and so messy that like OSHA would have shut me down, like unsafe environment. Baseline on my closet is small and awkward. And so already it's not great. And I'm in there all the time, right? So I don't always notice until it's gotten really bad and sweaters have come out and sweatshirts because it's winter have just kind of formed piles and it's kind of gotten unruly. And so when something did like literally fall on me, I took a step back and was like, oh man, it is time to do this thing. So I spent during one of those snow days probably 90 minutes. And before too long, I had a bag of trash, 2 bags of giveaways, and 1 bag of clothes that I'm going to try to sell. And so it ended up being a really productive time for me. And there's still more work to do, 100%. And I felt really accomplished. So when I was thinking about this, where I've been more successful in the past, though, is not taking the full 90 minutes, but is in tackling it like one bit at a time. And I find this works if it's not so bad that things are falling on my head. But so what's worked for me in the past is choosing a category. And for me, that's like, I'll look at like my sweater zone, or I'll look at tops, or I'll look at dresses and jackets. And I'll say, hey, I've got 15 minutes. What can I look at here? What can I keep, toss, and try? And those are my 3 categories. So not rocket science here, and I think you're with me, but let's think about it. And maybe this can be your challenge is take 15 minutes and go through this process and let's see what you can keep, toss, or try. Keep, obviously, is what you reach for. What fits your body, what works for you and your lifestyle right now. And here's the tough bit. It's the right now. I have a friend and I'm so proud of her. She cleaned up so much stuff out of her closet. And she was saying things like, oh, I remember this. I wore this right after I had my son and he's 14. Now, I'm not dissing on things having staying power in your closet. That's amazing. But if the only reason you're keeping it is because it gives you like a memory or a little sense of nostalgia, I think you really have to look at that and think, is that a reason to keep it in your closet? And I don't know, you know, but I would say you keep it if it's still looks great on you, if it fits you well right now, and if it really fits into your lifestyle. You could also like be me. I used to work in an office and I used to wear much more formal clothes. I've had to pare those back, even though they're great items, because they're taking up space and I don't have that lifestyle right now. So, anyway, so keeping things, it's got to be current, both style and lifestyle for you right now. When do you toss? Well, you toss if it's worn out. You toss if it's uncomfortable. You toss if it's damaged beyond repair. And you toss it if it's got some sort of weird emotional baggage that brings you down. It can be the most beautiful dress you own, but if you look at that dress and it makes you think of something, or if it gives you a reaction that is not positive, get rid of it. No, getting rid of it, sell it, do whatever. That's my point. But I'm saying toss it. Like toss it out of your personal space. Do not hang on to that stuff. And don't try to gaslight yourself into thinking that it's worth having when it is not supporting you energetically as well as physically. Just don't do it. It's toss it out. Get it out. Don't pass. What's the Monopoly thing? Like, don't pass go or collect $200. Toss it. And then the try bit is like, oh, I have it. I think I like it. I'm not really sure. Give yourself a deadline. Maybe it's a month. Maybe it's a year. I don't care. I'd like a shorter deadline than a year because then that can like linger. But wear it. Does it work? And if you're unsure about it because it is missing a button or it needs a fixed zipper, like get it done and try it, but don't let it linger. because I really do think the try stack is like purgatory. You could remain in the try pile indefinitely unless you actually get it on your body, and then you can decide, is it in or out? So, what can you toss? What can you try? And what do you lovingly keep? Try that one section of your closet, 15 minutes, and see how it feels. And maybe it'll inspire you to keep doing it and to add another 15 minutes. And maybe next thing you know, you're going to be in a safe work environment and it's no longer OSHA is going to come shut you down, like, was my experience. But I'm really excited for this kind of concept because it's not about like trying to be an uber minimalist or anything like that. But I think what we're doing in midlife, a lot of us are looking for alignment. We want to know that what we're doing outside is matching up with how we're feeling inside. And something like this is a really empowering way to begin to connect with that and to begin to feel confident with the opportunities that we have to show up in midlife as the people that we're really excited about. And what better way than through fashion and style, which is something I, of course, totally like. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Melissa, like I said, she planted this idea in my head. And so I hope to have her back. If you missed her last week, go check it out. And we are going to break down some style things and some closet things and some beauty tips and even some lifestyle and relationshipy kind of energetic strategies that we're going to run through this keep, try, and toss metaphor and see what we come up with. Because in midlife, we don't have time to be stagnant. We got to be shaking it up. So that is it for today. Go forth and curate that closet. Start small. And I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.